So, I got up, grabbing the rest of my stuff, getting ready to leave. And as I looked over, I noticed that Vicky was giving me a very strange expression. Is something wrong? I said. No, Vicky replied. It's just that something seems different about you, that's all. Maybe there's something else, something new, something you might feel like telling me? She said, passing a smile in my direction. Jeez, Vicky is so scarily accurate. Trying to keep anything from her is next to impossible. She's exceptionally perceptive. I know she says she's psychic, but I think she just has a knack for reading people. And she's already picked up on the fact that something's not the same about me. Hey, Nylea. Vicky's fairly perceptive. She might start to pick up on it if I spend too much time in my head, I thought, trying to send her the message. If at all possible, let's try to keep the chit-chat to a minimum. I don't want Vicky picking up on our little conversations. She is oddly perceptive. She even claims to be psychic. But I suppose being able to read people exceptionally well is an important factor in pretending to be psychic at a psychic parlor. What? She pretends to be psychic? Why would she do that? Nylea replied. I mean, I've met a fair number of psychics. They seem like nice people. Psychics tend to have an understanding of how people feel, which tends to make them very nice people who don't like to cause problems for others. For a moment, I had to stop myself from responding again. What? I thought? You're telling me that psychics are real. Ugh, this day just keeps getting more complicated. Next, you're going to be telling me that magic's real. Well, Nylea replied, magic is quite real. Mages on my planet held high status, and were both feared and respected. So, of course magic is real. I mean, with all of those movies I saw that had magic in them, I assumed that humans knew it as well. You've got to be kidding me, I thought. Just one blow after another. Now I have to worry about actual magic. What the hell? And now Vicky was giving me an upset expression. Hey, stop ignoring me. Is there something you want to tell me or not? I definitely don't need to bring Vicky into this. It's better if I keep my mouth shut, I thought to myself before responding. No, Vicky, I'm fine. There's nothing new about me. I'm just a little caught up in thought, that's all. Let's get home. There's probably mail piling up by this point, and bills that need paying, along with the fact that I probably have to call my boss, make sure I still have a job. Vicky just gave me another disgruntled expression. Fine, keep it to yourself then, Mr. Secrets, she said, turning around and walking out of the room. Ugh, she's just way too perceptive, I said frustratedly as I followed her out. As we made our way outside of the hospital, I saw it. That beautiful red piece of metal. She drove here in her brother's car. That means he's in town. But on the upside, that does mean I get to take a ride in that sweet piece of automobile. I couldn't help but get a smile on my face as I opened the door. Normally, her brother was somewhat overprotective about his car. If he was actually in it, he tended to keep a firm eye on people to make sure they didn't damage it in any way. No food in the car, no drinks in the car. Keep your feet on the floor. Keep your hands in your lap. If you scuff his interior, he'll kill you. Or at least he says. I think he loves this car far more than he likes anyone else. But without him in the car, I could actually enjoy the experience. As I hopped in, feeling that fresh leather interior, I felt a little bit better about the whole situation. I definitely need one of these, I said, running my hands across it. Fawning over my brother's car again, I see, Vicky said as she hopped into the driver's seat. You're lucky I'm not as paranoid about this car as my brother is. But I can't say that I don't enjoy the turbo, she said, smiling as she closed the door, starting up that monster of an engine. You could feel the vibrations in your bones. It was glorious. Vicky pulled out of the hospital, beginning to exit off onto the streets, turning on the radio to some decent rock. Currently, a song from the Axemen was on. Classic. I rolled down the window, sticking one arm out and feeling the breeze. But to my surprise, Vicky soon turned down the radio, picking up her phone and dialing in a number. Hey bro, Vicky said into the phone. Yeah, I just got here to pick up Kevin, and I think I forgot something at the house. So I'll be coming back for a little while, she said as she calmly drove through the streets. Bro, there's one more thing. I was remembering that trip we went on. You remember? About 3 years ago. I brought my girlfriend at the time, Angie, with me. And somewhere along the trip, we got that unwelcome visitor. Remember? That tag-along who kept clinging to Angie. Strangely enough, as Vicky had the conversation, I began to notice, and I could actually hear it much more clearly. I could hear her brother's voice on the other side of the phone tell what he was saying. Are you serious? I didn't think you'd be bringing that up. Aren't you supposed to be giving Kevin a ride home from the hospital? Or no, you're not serious. You're joking, right? He said seriously. Yeah, bro, I'm getting about the same feeling, Vicky replied. You've gotta be kidding me, Vicky's brother retorted. You know you're nothing but trouble, right? I'm telling you, friends are an inconvenience. You don't need them. They just slow you down. Ugh, think whatever you want, bro, Vicky replied. I'm bringing Kevin by the house for a little visit. I'm gonna need everything ready when I get there. You are gonna have everything ready, aren't you, bro? If you don't, I'll kick your ass. Yeah, I hear ya, Vicky's brother replied. See you when you get here, he said, hanging up the phone. Oh, what was that about? I asked, curiously. Oh, it's nothing. You really don't have to worry about it. I just left some things at the house, and my brother's getting it in order for me. Actually, there was something just for you. A welcome back from the hospital surprise that I had acquired and thought that you would be interested in. You remember that Mad Cabin's album is coming out soon, right? Well, let's say that a little birdie happened to be a customer of mine. And let's say that this little birdie happens to be a sound editor and works for the company that produces the Mad Cabin records. So, this little birdie got some very good news from me and were so gracious that they gave me a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, cutting me a record of Mad Cabin's new album months before the release. It even includes some of their conversations in between the recording sessions. I figured that kind of thing would be just up your alley, Vicky said, smiling over to me. Are you kidding me? Do not toy with my emotions, Vicky, I shouted over to her, having a hard time controlling the excitement. I've been waiting for that album forever. It's been more than a year since they announced they were producing another album, and I've been waiting for it. It's been agony. You have to give me that album. Not to keep, but just to, listen to. Maybe make a copy of. Oh, this day just got so good.